It's hard work. I'm not kidding you. 7 hours a day keeping it running for the public. Takes at least 5 operators and a lot of concentration. When the lights were worked by the signalman or myself, it was hard work. Since we've installed the automatic lights, it's changed our lives. It's meant that we don't have to worry about the signals, but more important, because the boards are on the back, we can see where the trains are. Because the lights show us, the minute they turn to red, we know that the train's just past that section. So, has it improved? Are they great? It took a couple of hours to install them. I did it myself with one of the lads. It's easy. Do I recommend them? Definitely. There's still some complications we're going to give Dave, new things we want to do. I guess for most people, the thing to remember is that this is a scale mile. So on the real railway, that would only be one signal. But we play in trains and we want plenty of signals, okay? But you've got to remember the length of your train. So it's no good having too many lights in a section if your train's hanging over sections. So you've got to remember that some of the signals must be worked on timers to give you the sequence that makes it look right. The public can't see it, you don't have to worry about it, it does your job.
And that's the signals at the tunnel entrance?
Yes, if there's a tunnel or somewhere that's not signalled, you must have one that's programmed to keep your sequence yellow, double yellow, green. Otherwise, you can see the back end of the train as it goes to green, which you just know looks wrong and is wrong.
So we've got some future plans for this if you have time to implement them. We've got the divergent route and the signalling for that.
That's crucial.
Okay, so that will be on a production board that probably you'll have in the next 2 weeks, so possibly a week. And the final thing is whether we go for automatic braking on the signal or not, and that's an option that is you can plug in if you choose to do it.
Well, we talked about this yesterday actually, and I think what we will do is when we get the diverging signals and the reds, we will put the stop in on the ones that turn to red when they work.
Right.
So it means that we're only going to have to do 3 routes.
Okay.
It keeps it simple. But we do want them to turn to red, because I noticed yesterday somebody took a lovely video, but of course when we crossed it over, you got the feathers, you got the green, but of course the green on the next line was also on.
Right.
So obviously I had to go and put my hand over it so you couldn't see the green.
Yes, because the sensor's not installed for the
That's
points.
correct, yeah.
I mean, with the brake controller, the automatic brake controller, if we were to section the fiddle yard, we could just say go to all the trains and they would automatically bring themselves down to the next empty block. There are so many things we could do if this was on the road.
Yes, if we were going to take this on, I would definitely go to that. That would stop all the driver error. But being as this is literally here till September, then we're going to go one exhibition at Milton Keynes, and at Milton Keynes we would have rewired everything, and it will be just that weekend. And then if it goes into the museum, if it's fantastic. If it don't, I'm not sure what we're going to do. We'll probably store the front, but I'm going to use the back for another layout.
Right. So it would be good to wire up the fiddle yard for the brakes, because that would be universal then across whatever front end you put on it.
Yeah, it depends on... I want to get the red light system working on the front first, because it's about the public.
Yes.
It's not about us around the back. It's about the public watching it here, and it would be nice to put the trains across now and again for people to see it. But we have a lot of inexperienced and new operators every day. They couldn't cope with it. I mean, we have struggled today. This is our second Saturday. We have really struggled today with guys that have come willingly, but don't understand the stress and the strain of working a layout this size. It is difficult.
Well, I've certainly had my hands full running 2 at a time.
Yeah.
But I'm stopping on reds.
Yeah.
And it's just, you've got to be with your eyes at both ends of the layout in case something
Yeah,
happens.
and Dave, for instance, can't see the other end of the layout.
Yes.
So he can't see when it comes around the top. He just has no idea. He doesn't see it
Right.
until it gets halfway down the layout. Now, you know, he's one of our staunch members. So, you know, he did all the woodwork, you know. But if he doesn't come, I'm on my own.
Yes.
So,
And for all the automatic stuff to work, you've got to have reliable running, haven't you? Otherwise,
yeah.
you'll end up with a mess.
And so we are really in two camps here. The front is very scale and very correct and very proper. The stock is straight out the box, most of it, but the back is purely Hornby.
Right.
It's purely, and I've done that deliberate.
Right.
So people who want to get back into the hobby, I've gone, look, there's nothing magical on this back. This is all Hornby track, all Hornby points. MegaPoints can control it all. This is what it is. You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So this is all a bit technical and you know, 60 years of modelling experience in this back. But you know, in the front, in the back, it's easy. So you can start off without being frightened. You know, I don't want people frightened. I want them going home and saying, you know what, I think I can find 8 foot for it. You know, for a model railway. And you know, it can't be as big as the one in Chester Cathedral, but I can have as much fun as I have in Chester Cathedral.
So the exhibition it's going to is the
Hornby.
Great Electric Train Show.
Yes.
At Milton Keynes.
Yes.
And that'll be September.
It's October the 3rd and 4th, isn't it? I think it's the first October.
So people
weekend.
have a chance to come and see this down there.
And I believe we're having a funny. I know this is late, and it'll be late by the time you post it. On Monday, Hornby magazine taking over the layout.
Okay.
And they're going to run it themselves with all their stock, and they're bringing the public in via their website.
Right.
And issuing special edition brochures. So I think the idea is when it goes to Milton Keynes, they will run it, and they will invite the public to bring stock to run on it.
Okay.
Well, what's very interesting, I mean, for all of our websites, we've all had record views. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, my rail nuts has just gone through the roof. It's fantastic.
A lot of people are talking about it, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, for a start, people probably can't get their heads around the fact that you're doing double O.
No.
Are you sure? Is that right? Are you real? And you can have fun at any scale, can't you?
Well, I did. As soon as we talked about this, I could have done it O gauge, but I thought, you know what? I've had Hornby trains all my life, and I've been part of the Hornby family for a long, long time. And you know what? The ready-to-run 4mm now is so good, or double O. I thought, you know what? I don't have to worry about that. I'll concentrate on building this piece to make it look what I think double O should look like.
And it does look impressive.
Well, it looks as good as my 7mm,
right?
Because I've spent that much attention to detail.
Yes. I could argue that I didn't know anything about this layout or the decisions until the last month. So we've put all the electrics in the last 4 weeks.
Well, Dave, you know, I never intended to put the signals in. It was only you saying, why don't you put the signals in? And I went, is this a bridge too far? And you know we've worked 2 weekends to do it. But without it, I'm not sure it would have worked.
So it came just in time.
Oh, I don't think it would have worked. I think I think the colour lights have really made it a different layout.
Well, for us, it looks great, doesn't it?
Well, I built it, but you stand there and you go, I couldn't have dreamt about this 5 weeks ago, that I'm standing here watching all the trains pass the signals and they're all changing and the sequence is right and everything's flying around. I mean, yesterday was an amazing moment when the 2 Pendolinos came up and down, the HST came this way, and there was the Stobarts go, and all 4 trains passed and all the lights changed at the same time. It was like, wow, amazing.
And you don't think it's going to add much, but it's the little touches
that
really stand out. Isn't it? And the lights, they're very visible.
Yeah. That's the red.
So what Pete's doing right now is he's taking off the old analog wired signals and he's connecting the signal LEDs onto the auto signal. So we've hooked up the auto signal to the block detector, which is the small block on the left, and there's a pair here for 2 roads, and pretty shortly we'll have them fired up and working. We're doing this live while the layout's running. We've got a red now, and that's because this train is on the block And what we've done, we've run ready-made servo cables between controllers on the back. Here's another. Here's another pair. Another one here. And another one here. Now what's not obvious is these are the cables, these DIN sockets that are connected to this signalling panel. So we've got quite a lot of cables in here, and these are controlling the signals in an analog manner. These are now being decommissioned, so if Pete gets around the layout today and he's doing it all himself, hopefully he'll be able to unplug these, connect the signal to the signal controller, and he'll have fully automatic signalling working on here today. And I think we've put 10, 12, 13 controllers on here, so we've got 13 colour lights on 4 lines. Right. Do you want me to check the colour?
I know it's right now because
okay.
The only wire that I've got left is the white, which is the double yellow.
Okie dokie.
So if I put this in here, that signal's now commissioned.
So you've just done the 2 of those in what, 10 minutes?
Oh, less. Less because I've had to, because the wiring is all different colours. I now know that the white is the double yellow, and I couldn't remember whether the blue was the green. But there you go. That's gone red. I mean, it's so simple. Compared with, we've done 5 days of this exhibition now. Changing the colour lights manually to make them look right, it drives you mad. It just doesn't work. And this is simple.
Like a plate.
Yeah, because all the people that have been watching it love the way the signals change. See, automatically. I don't have to touch it now. It's all done.
Brilliant.
It's magic, Dave.
Now you're going to get on with the rest of them, yes?
Yeah, I'm going to do the rest now.
So when I come back from lunch, they'll all be wired?
They all will be wired. And I may come and join you for a Moretti halfway through your lunch. Give me a moment.
Okay, it's green. Yep. And we're referring to the one that's just going to go out, I think. This one on the right. Just been wired up. It's gone red now. Right. Now it's gone back to green. Okay. So I presume you press the test button.
I took power off.
Okay.
Now we need to get the double yellow working.
And that's the terminals at the bottom which connect in this version of the board to the LEDs themselves on the signal. Okay, so Pete's now wiring up the signals. We've done the first 2. We're doing this while the layout's live, and he's now wiring up the rest of them. So hopefully within about an hour, we'll have the whole layout operating with the automatic signals, and the signal box will be decommissioned. We've basically wired up this side of the layout now. We've just got to tidy the cabling. There's 2 more to do, but what we've done is we've taken this many cables off the analog control panel, and we've got a few more to go, and then this panel will be redundant.
Got them 2 to do.
3 cables is it to do?
Yeah, 2 more to do.
And then we're done.
No, 2 more.
2.
Just done that one. That's done.
Another one.
Brilliant.
Right.
You'll have nothing to do soon. So we have more colour signals wired up now. We've got these connected, signal controllers, and we also have these connected. Seeing a double amber and a double yellow and a yellow. And we've both of these connected now. And we've both of these connected. if we look down, we have the phar,
Yeah,
all connected, and probably hooked them up in hour and a half.
Yeah,